So with that, I'm going to hand over to give us the introduction to tell us why data is the essence of today's digital society to Aleš Veršič, who is head of the Slovenian Open Data Portal within the Slovenian Ministry of Public Administration. Thank you very much, Aleš. The floor is yours.
Thank you, and hello to everybody, to all ladies and gentlemen, dear open data lovers, all participants of the, unfortunately, the last day of EU Open Data Days. And it is my great pleasure and honor to welcome you and to discuss and to see the great apps of three finalists about focusing on the economy that works for people. Next slide. But when you're talking about the future, we should look sometimes to the past. And in human history, we have always had the raw materials that have been the foundation of the functioning of human society. From Stone Age, where we are living with nature, using raw materials such as stone and wood, with development of the society, we transform our society into the agrarian society, where we also developed, based on the knowledge, the irrigation systems, so that we could meet the needs of the society all the time. And with the Industrial Revolution, we started mass production and some new types of transportation. And there was a fight between, let's say, the old way of transport with horses and carriages and with the cars. So we always have the conflict when we are shifting from the old way of life to the new one with new perspective. And the next important step in our society was also developing the computers as a basic of the information society. If the oil was the driving force behind the development of the Industrial Revolution and society, the data is the essence of the digital revolution on the society. And also, if you see in the previous picture, that when we're digging up into our history, we will find some a new knowledge about how we lived in the past. So with that, we can go and continue with our steps into the future. So let's see now some statistics about the data. In the next slide, we will see, for example, on average, every human created at least 1.7 megabytes data per second. So in the last 5 minutes, we created 510 megabytes of the data. In 2020, users sent around 500,000 tweets per day. By the end of 2020, 44 zettabytes will make up the entire digital universe. And for example, by 2022, 70% of the globe GDP will be underground digitalization. And maybe the important one is also the number of IoT devices will reach more than 25 billion by the 2030. So we are producing a lot of data, which is the raw material, the essence of the digital society. But since we are on the Open Data Days, in the next slide, we will see how to open the data, because when we open the data, we can create a lot of new apps and solutions. We always will have classified information, some personal data. We can see the data on the browser. But when we anonymize and prepare the data for the broader use, this is the ultimate goal, to make some solutions and foster the economy. And the next slide. We are now in the contact between two worlds. We are in the physical way, and we are now moving into the digital way. So if I use the words of my colleague Igor Zorko, which he said at the International Conference of Open Data Accelerators of the Digital Economy, organized by OPSI Hub Slovenia, open data is something we do not see but feel. But I would also add to his words that when we visualize them, we can see them also. So this is the important issue, that when we visualize the data, we can see the data and to do something. And next slide. And when we are slowly going to the end of this my speech, I would say open data is a reusable raw material, not oil. For the new products, we are all data producers. Data is a public goods. Data users are partners and not enemies. They don't compete with us. Collaboration and partnership is important when you're talking about open data. Everyone has the right to use the data under the same condition. And the question is, should we leave the data in the basement or create something new? The important issue is that the data is not free; they cost, but the reuse is also is free. So therefore, in my conclusion, I would like to emphasize that by using electronic devices and services, we are all co-create the raw material that is the foundation of the digital society, and thus contribute the new knowledge and to the social progress. This is the key issue that with this data we can do something more. So, dear participants, it is more important for our citizens, municipalities, countries, companies, and other organizations to come together and collaborate in events like this to create something new. And I'm deeply convinced that the right use and presentation of open data can bring digital solutions and benefits to whole society. So let me conclude my opening speech with the following words: be innovative and dare in the use of data, and not forget the protection of personal data and be ethical. So I hope that we will see now some good solutions about economy that works for people. Thank you.
Thank you very much for setting that out for us, and of course reminding us that we're talking about different sorts of data. Data privacy is very important for personal data, but we're talking here about the open data that is a resource held in various municipalities.